Hey everyone, guess what? I'm so glad I was raised in the 70s, and I'll tell you, a lot of us have grit. And I'll tell you why. Because when I was a kid, and maybe when you were a kid, you were raised in a family. I had three sisters. My mom came from a family of eight. My dad had two brothers, but I had a multitude of first, second, third, and fourth cousins. I mean, I had a lot of aunts and uncles and things like that, and that's just the way it was. And as a kid, you knew you were going to see certain people at every turn, every birthday, every holiday, every this and that. And there's some people, I guess, from your childhood you probably didn't care for very much that said something, and you're like, And you just knew you weren't going to be very close with them, but that's just the people in your neighborhood, the people you're going to see, whatever. And so you kind of just play along. You play the game and this and that, and see them and go home, and you're like, oh, good, I won't have to see them for a while. And maybe it's once a year at a family reunion after a while. So I'm just saying, we learned, I think, patience, tolerance, and all that, and we realized not everyone was like us. But today you have these sons and daughters, and they don't like their parents, and they cut ties and walk away, and that's just the way it goes. But unless they live on Mars, how do they deal with people out in the real world? Neighbors, their in-laws, their kids' teachers, their kids' friends, and their kids' friends' moms. How it's nobody's perfect. So somebody does something you don't like, and you cut them off and walk away from them. Or let's just say your kid has a best friend at school, and they want to play together, and so they're hanging out and they're having a good time, and all of a sudden their friend's parent is someone that says something that just pisses you off, or you don't agree with, or whatever. Are you going to cut off your son or daughter's best friend, BFF, from elementary school because you don't like their parents? So God forbid you won't allow your child around that other person. How in the heck do you explain that to your son or daughter? Well, Susie, you can't play with Jane anymore because I don't like her mom, and so we're just going to cut them off. So that's what you're mirroring for your children? Do you avoid going to the grocery store? Because I know sometimes I go and there's people there that are challenging. Neighbors, church, the gym, mom groups. I'm just wondering. We were raised tough. I don't know, we had a thicker outer shell than you all have, because we might be, you're a soft shell turtle, we're hard shell turtles. We survive road accidents more so than you do. I'm not saying a turtle can survive a semi, but maybe a 10-speed. But anyways, that's all I think. I just want to know. You might cut your parents off because you disagree with them or they're not perfect, but do you cut the rest of the world off too? How do you deal with others you don't agree with, or that say something you might not like? And what are you teaching your sons and daughters? Because if you're soft, man, they're like cotton balls, and that's just the way it is. So anyways, that's all I've got, and I will be back.